All right, a very big welcome to you, my awesome viewers and listeners from all over the world. Thank you for joining me on another great episode of your favorite political talk show, The Truth, with Ben Jokes. Breaking: Tinubu's minister Nnaji resigns after University of Nigeria disowns his degree. Bola Tinubu has accepted the resignation of Geoffrey Uche Nnaji, the Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, amid forgery allegations leveled against him. Nnaji, who was appointed by Tinubu in August 2023, tendered his resignation in a letter on Tuesday, expressing gratitude to Tinubu for the opportunity to serve the country. Now, if they are to scrutinize all Tinubu's appointees, from ministers to SSAs, I don't think we will be able to contain the number of resignation letters that will be tendered. And then from the very top, even the Tinubu himself, his certificate forgery issue became a global subject months ago. And even some weeks ago, the subject began to pop up again. So this is not new to anybody in that cabinet. All of them are aware of the situation and they are very comfortable with it. This man has tendered his resignation. He will most likely be replaced by another certificate forger. But who bears the brunt? It is the people, because there is no way a nation can move forward with these kind of men with questionable character and integrity at the helm of affairs. Now, let us look at the top stories. First is that very despicable one coming out of the Nigerian police. And when you see these updates, you will realize why this country needs to be rescued as soon as possible. And next is that big one coming from the global stage. Global media has completely destroyed Tinubu's reputation, disgracing the administration and by extension, Nigeria itself. Before I show you details of these top stories and how Nigerians reacted, when we talk about killings and the fact that the APC is trying to hide under some fake achievements to cover up the killings, you may think that we are just trying to paint the administration black. But watch this senator from Kebbi State beg Akpabio that please come and save the lives of my people. We don't want your schools. We don't want your roads. Just save lives. Watch this video.
Today they will tell us they are here. Tomorrow they are here. Everybody knows within our area. But we will not see any action taking place. That is to say, sir, we need this Senate to tell the armed forces to be reporting progress every week so that state by state. Otherwise, it will be a mess of all issues and we will not be seeing progress. Sir, I beg you, that time is right now, that this problem is solvable. We have seen progress. We should not allow this progress to be derailed. We should pursue this remnant of these people so that our next election can be peaceful and sustainable. And we have something to sell to our people, sir. This is the only thing I want to take. If I get protected in my environment, please keep your roads, keep your schools. We just want to be safe. And that is the message we are sending to the Senate President. Please, save our life and our people. We are not bothered about roads now or schools. Please, save our lives. Our people's lives are in danger. Thank you very much, sir.
Senator. You heard that. That was Senator Garba Musa Maidoki representing Kebbi South. I am sure he was one of the senators who used to sing, "On your mandate we shall stand," singing on the graves of your people. Now, the issue has gone completely out of hand. And he is now begging Akpabio, because Akpabio is close to Tinubu, please go and tell members of the executives, we do not want your roads. We do not want your schools. Let us just keep our lives. And it's not as if he doesn't want development. He's just trying to make you see the severity of the issue. I am telling you that in these areas, people literally live, they breathe and eat fear. Because at any time of the day, even while they are in deep sleep, these terrorists can turn up wake them up and ask them for monies, ask them for levies. And when they are done, they will look at one of their daughters that they like and carry. They are being treated like slaves practically, just that they are not in chains. This is the situation in greater part of northwest Nigeria, and that is what they are trying to replicate in Kwara State and by extension southwest Nigeria. So this senator is begging today. You may think that it is because he is a northerner. The situation that he is speaking against is what the terrorists are trying to replicate in southwest Nigeria. And give it a few years, a Yoruba senator, if nothing is done and we allow APC to continue in power, give it a few years, a Yoruba senator will stand up in the Senate and say something similar to what this senator has said here. So it is a very pathetic situation under the All Progressive Congress. These people are not progressive in any form. All they have brought to this country is pain, backwardness, unemployment, death, blood since they came in 2015. That was a senator there almost going to his knees to beg. So these are not the words of Ben Jokes. Before you say that this is a Peter Obi man, he's mounting a campaign of calumny against the Tinubu administration. This is a senator representing Kebbi South. If Nigeria does not end the APC will end Nigeria. Now, let us look at the top stories. First is that very despicable one coming out of the Nigerian police, a very pathetic one to say the least. And next is that very big one coming from the global stage. Tinubu completely disgraced in the foreign media. His failure has now become a subject of discussion, regular discussion in all the countries of the world. This man grabbed, snatched, and ran away with power, only to put himself in a position where he's being seen as one of the most incompetent creatures on earth. Let's start by taking that update from the Nigerian police. Look at how the papers reported it. They ask widows for sex before paying gratuity. Retired Nigerian police officers' wives cry out at National Assembly. The wives of retired Nigerian police officers on Tuesday joined their husbands in a protest at the National Assembly, decrying the poor welfare conditions faced by their families. They lamented that during their husbands' years of active service, the officers were not provided with basic protective gear such as bulletproof vests and were often the first to be hit by bullets during operations. One of the officers' spouses said, "We are ready and we are telling the National Assembly now they should remove retired policemen from the pension scheme with immediate effect. It is our right. Let them give retired officers their rights because the suffering is too much. Our children are suffering. When our husbands were serving, they had no bulletproof vest or protective gears. They were the first to be shot in any operation, and the widows whose husbands died have not been paid their gratuities. Before they even call us to come and collect our husbands' gratuities, they will demand to sleep with us or our children." You can imagine such wickedness. Why is the police authority so indifferent? Enough is enough. They should please answer us, the protester said. And Slim Joe here says, if Nigeria does not happen to you, you won't understand their pain. And this tweet here says, Senate president will take it up seriously because he doesn't condone sexual harassment or sex-related crime. This is big sarcasm here. And Trapso replied, he said, I see what you did there. Trapso saw the sarcasm because this tweet here is saying that, oh, if the Senate president was a person who had zero tolerance for sexual crimes, maybe he would have risen to the occasion hearing that widows of retired officers are being asked for intimacy. But because he himself, his hands are not clean, there's nothing he can do about this. And Awal says, anything can happen in this country. Everything is possible, especially in this APC regime. You can imagine this despicable act, trying to molest wives of retired policemen before you give them their husbands' gratuities. And how much is this gratuity we are talking about? So I think the Nigerian police should Look at all these things and learn. So that when people come out, when youths try to change the direction this country is going, the police should not be the first people to come against young people. It doesn't make sense. Even in your absence, when you are no more, look at the things that your family goes through. Everybody that is being oppressed in this country, from the military to the police to the civilians, we have to come together, cast aside our differences, and unite to rescue this country. And just as Nigerians were yet reacting to that, that update from the global media began making the rounds. Fox News spoke about Nigeria under the Tinubu administration in a way that every Nigerian would watch and feel sad, no matter how callous-hearted you are. If you watch this video, you will know that things have really turned upside down in this country. This is not a time to argue. This video is not for you to argue if their claim of the cause of the killings is actually what it is. Just look at the number that this guy mentioned in this video and look at how Nigeria is being portrayed under the Tinubu administration, and tell me if you want this to continue for your country. Watch this video.
You sent a letter to Secretary of State Marco Rubio. You called on the State Department to redesignate Nigeria as a country of particular concern due to the persecution of Christians in Nigeria. What's going on there?
Yes, it's really, truly a tragedy what is happening in Nigeria. Just this year alone, 7,000 Christians have been killed by Boko Haram, an Islamic terrorist organization. Just on Ash Wednesday this year, we had a priest kidnapped and murdered, and another 54 Christians martyred on Palm Sunday. There's 35 Christians a day being murdered in Nigeria by an Islamic terrorist organization. The Biden administration removed that designation of a country of particular concern for Nigeria. President Trump had put that designation on them in his first term, and I'm urging Secretary Rubio to bring that designation back because it is certainly warranted. We need to stand up for these Christians who are being murdered in Nigeria.
Unbelievable. All right, Congressman, we'll be watching your work on that as well. Thanks very much for being here this morning.
Wow, you heard that? He said 7,000 Christians already murdered this year, and the numbers are so crazy. This is not a time for us to begin to argue, because when this video dropped on the internet, arguments came up about whether this whole thing is targeted at Christians or it is targeted at defenseless Nigerians altogether, because Muslims began to bring out their own figures, and that was where the discussion got more interesting, because Muslims began to bring out the number of Muslims that have been unalived this year alone. And by the time you add everything together, it just shows a staggering number of Nigerians that have been unalived this year. So I don't want any Muslim that is probably watching now who is innocent to see this as an attack on his religion. Because if you tell me today that there is a Christian sect that is killing Muslims, I am a Christian, I will not feel attacked. What I will tell you is that go after the sponsors of that Christian sect and get them. Yes, go after them and get them. Because it was not written anywhere in the good book that I should go about killing people. So if you are a Muslim and they are saying that there are Muslim sects, or there is a Muslim sect that is killing Christians in Nigeria, what you should be after is, okay, let them get the sponsors of that sect and arrest everybody that is involved. Senator Ted Cruz said they know the sponsors of these sects. They say they know the sponsors of these killings of Christians in Nigeria. But altogether and ultimately, this has to be seen as a national issue. Under the Tinubu administration, this year alone, 7,000 Christians killed. You know, I brought you a figure here some months ago where they said that 10,000 people had been killed ever since Tinubu came into office. And we said that that is an extremely high number. 10,000 deaths is completely outrageous. But we also pointed out the fact that the figure is inaccurate. We knew that it was actually more than that. And now these people are telling us expressly That Christians alone that have been murdered over 7,000. And I am telling you that the APC have a hand in all this, because we never had killings in this country at this rate before the APC was formed. Everything that is happening in this country as regards insecurity at the rate at which it is happening today in Nigeria began in 2014. Immediately the APC was formed as a political party. And that is why the matter worsened under Buhari, and now it has gone completely over the roof under the Tinubu administration. And this matter about his failure, especially in the area of insecurity, is being discussed in Canada, is being discussed in Australia, is being discussed in America, is being discussed in the UK. This is Fox News. This is Fox News reporting it. So this is a global issue. Tinubu just snatched, grabbed, and ran away with power only to completely disgrace himself. But what is his integrity? What is his personality compared to what is happening to people? Lives being taken, innocent Nigerians. Most of these people just want to live simple lives. They are not after being multimillionaires. They are not after occupying political offices. They are not looking to go and live in Dubai or anywhere in the world. They are not looking to ride escalates. They just want to live normal lives happily with their families. And then they cannot achieve that. The lives have to be cut short because of the greed of a political class, especially members of the APC. They brought this insecurity upon Nigeria just to wrestle power away from Jonathan. And now they have collected that power. They don't know what to do with it anymore. We're complaining about the economy of the country that they had completely destroyed, but now it is our lives that are at stake. And let nobody think that this is only happening in one part of the country, that it will not get to the part where he is. If the right thing is not done today, if we don't come together to get the APC out of power, this is a national issue, and these terrorists are looking to invade the entire country and take over. Nigerians, we must put our foot down that we cannot continue with the APC that has vowed to sink this country. And when we do so, we can come together and take our country back. But until then, make I still enter town, make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because now, because of una, now I dey here. So don't go away. Don't go away.